ScreenPlay, where we review elements of pop culture, from music and television to video games and film. I'm your host, Noah Bailey. Today we'll be reviewing the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then we'll be reviewing the album Evergreen by Broods. Rachel, now you attended a live performance of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tell us about that.
All right, so when we first got there, I had no idea what to expect. I had never seen the movie in general before, so I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
You were a virgin,
I was a virgin, yes. And as a virgin, apparently they put red lipstick on your cheeks with a V shape, and so that was fun. That was interesting. And I was so scared that I started crying at one point because I had no idea. I was panicked. I went through the security, and they put a number on your hand, like what number person you are. And I thought that meant that you were going to get called randomly by your number to go on stage. Yeah. And so that's why I was so freaked out. But it wasn't the case. So it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, the first part was scary for me. But
it was very scary.
Once we got going, it was pretty unique, definitely. It was the movie playing itself, like by itself, and then the actors were dressed up and were doing a reenactment of the movie at the same time. So it was. I had never seen anything like it, so it was really interesting. And the set pieces were pretty cool to look at. And I didn't know which way to look because I was like, am I supposed to watch the movie? Am I supposed to watch the actors? And not seeing the movie before, I didn't know the movie, so I was facing that more. But then I would look back at the actors and see what they were doing. So it was different, definitely.
Definitely. Now tell us about maybe some of the costumes or things that happen that the audience does, because it's very much audience participation.
It is very much audience participation. The audience, well, you were dressed up as a woman.
I was.
In a dress.
I was.
There were a few of them like that, like few guys like that. But mostly it was just normal wear, or like girls were skankily dressed, I suppose you can say. But it was a lot of yelling from the audience.
Yes, it was.
During different scenes, they would yell out different sayings that you have to watch 1.5 billion times to memorize, I would think. But besides that, it was, I don't know, it was different for sure. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't scary once we got going, but I don't remember everything that they were yelling, but
I think my personal favorite was when Tim Curry, who plays Dr. Frankenfurt, the transvestite / crossdresser, is standing at a table, and he goes, "I'd like to announce a toast."
Oh, yeah.
And then people in the audience throw toast.
Yeah, but you have to buy the survival kit for that.
It's true. It's true, because they do not let you bring your own in because they pat you down before you go into the film. Right. Because apparently they've had trouble with that or something. Or when the character Scott, when someone goes, "Great Scott," toilet paper goes everywhere.
Really? I didn't
not see that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I got hit by popcorn though, with a popcorn cannon.
Which is really interesting because you were in the very back.
I was in the very back,
so no one could have been shooting it from behind. So.
No, it was up.
Oh, it was?
Like there's a wall, and then there's like this huge balcony behind you, and that's where people were standing for doing the lights.
Okay.
And then the cannon went off, and it like shot over my shoulder and landed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, last question. Would you suggest this to a friend?
Yes. If you're going with a group of people.
That is true.
If you're going by yourself, then probably not.
Yeah.
But especially if you're a fan of Rocky Horror, then definitely go. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so Sam, you reviewed Evergreen. What did you think?
I liked it. I've liked Broods since I heard their last single, Bridges, which is probably what they got known for. And so this is their first full-length album, and it was just like a really good continuation of the music that they already did. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah? Very cool. So what's kind of their sound?
They're like indie pop mixed with like electronica sounds. So it's kind of like more upbeat soundings. Usually I don't really go for pop, but they have like a really different sound, but I like electronica type stuff, so it meshes together really well. They're really unique. I like unique artists, so clearly.
Unique is good.
Yeah.
So do they play their own instruments?
I know that the guy, I believe his name is Jacob, they're siblings actually. It's just
really?
2 siblings, yeah, it's just 2 of them.
That's really
And
cool.
she does the vocals, and then he does like the production and then backup vocals, but it said he's like a multi-instrumentalist, so he must play like more than one instrument and stuff, so.
That's really interesting, because my next question is just how do you think that dynamic works? Because you don't really see very often just like a male and a female, you know, in a band. Like you look at the Cool Kids song Echo Smith. Sorry, I blanked there. They're a big group of guys, and then they have one girl. You know, that's usually how it is. Or all guys, or you know.
They're all family too, though. So it's interesting that they're family too. These two.
That is interesting.
Maybe it's a new trend.
Maybe, yeah. So do you think that influences their sound, the fact that they're a group, but there's really only just one guy and one girl?
Yeah, because like whenever I say band, I feel worse. It's just 2 of them, but like listening, you would think that it's like more of a bigger production.
Definitely.
Even though it's mainly just her singing, he's kind of in the background, but like he does all the production and like synths and stuff. So they do like the work of like a full band, but there's only 2 of them, so it's impressive.
That is really impressive. Now, I know that they're indie, but can we expect them to be played on the radio, or are they just kind of like Spotify, where you gotta find them there? Or?
I mean, they're probably on like satellite radio channels, because like I have an iPod thing in my car because I don't like the radio, so I usually just have that, but like if I forget it or something, I'll put on the satellite. And I like the station Alt Nation, and they usually play like new indie bands or like new bands in the scene, so I could see them being on that station.
Okay.
But as far as like mainstream like radio, no. Definitely
Interesting.
not.
That's kind of cool. It makes it like a club where they're not just everywhere. You know what I
Special
mean?
club, yeah.
Because how many people do we get sick of because they're played on the radio 24/7?
That's like partly why I don't listen to the radio either. It like ruins some bands for me.
Absolutely. So do they have any cool music videos?
The video for Bridges is cool. It's more of a story. Like it's not them like singing. It's just like people like telling a story, and it's like a couple, and then like their music's just in the background. So that's kind of how their music videos are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of powerful video because the song sounds like really sunny and upbeat. Like if you actually listen to the lyrics, like the song's called Bridges. It's about like burning bridges in a relationship, and like how there's a problem. And the video kind of outlines that like maybe the guy was abusive towards the girl, but the fact that it like contrasts with like the electronica sound, like it's kind of cool.
It's a big juxtaposition.
It's like dark and light, yeah.
That's really cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for reviewing that. That's it for our reviews today. Thank you, Rachel, and then again, thank you, Sam, for taking out your time to review those. You can read the full reviews of Rocky Horror and Evergreen by The Broods. You can find them at auspartannews.com. So now it's time to switch it over to our last thoughts, where we discuss current events in pop culture today. We'll be talking about a picture that took the internet by storm. Hashtag Alex from Target. What do you guys think? This is a loaded question.
I think it's weird. I don't know.
It is
I
very
saw it
weird.
on BuzzFeed a couple weeks ago, and like usually if something's new on the homepage, I'll click on it. So I did, and it's like this boy's turned into a meme, and I looked and I'm like, what is this? He looks like he's like 16, and then I heard that he actually like is 16.
Is 16, yeah.
I don't get it. Like I don't think he's like hot, but maybe if I was like 15, I would. I don't know. It's
you'd
kind
be
of weird to
fangirling.
me. Like everyone's like sexualizing him, and he's like a child.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
is.
He was just working.
That is really, really kind of strange.
Yeah,
And,
it's like a huge thing now.
yeah, not to get into the entire gender ordeal.
No.
But I was just thinking, I was talking with our director about this, and what if it was a 16-year-old girl and some
Yeah.
guy took a picture, uploaded it, and was like, check out this hot girl?
That'd be
What?
bad.
I mean, well, he'd be thrown in prison. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, though. You know, I find it interesting that it's so opposite. Yeah.
Who does that though? Like, oh, you're hot. Here, take a picture. Like,
I don't
and
know.
then post it everywhere.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of guts to do that.
Yeah.
I know I could never have the guts to like take a
Well, the
picture of an
girl-
attractive person when I knew they were taking a picture. Because he said on his interview with Ellen, I believe, because that's the only interview that he's done. He says no to every other interview. He said that people take pictures of him all the time.
I don't get it. Why?
I don't know. I just find that weird because me being like an employee, like I used to work in retail a couple of years ago, and I'm there to like, you know, help you by like checking you out at the cash register, and I'm there to stock, you know, clothes. I'm not there to be like
model,
and for people to just come and take pictures. And I don't know. Do you guys have anything to say about that?
Well, if you're working in an office type setting, people usually don't come in and take pictures. So why should you be doing that for retail?
I mean, I've like
That's a good point.
taken like funny snaps and like creeped on like strangers, been like, haha, like look what this person's doing. But it was never like this person's hot and like posted it on Twitter or something.
Exactly. Well, and I also almost think it's different with an employee because I feel like you're almost abusing the fact of like they are there helping you and they're there, you know, they're supposed to be there, and I don't know, I feel like it's abusive. I don't know.
People were trying to do it with other stores. Like in the BuzzFeed article, there was like some girl took a picture of a guy at like Best Buy. There was one at Starbucks, and I was like, oh, they're just gonna like
it's gonna become a
harass any guy we see working now.
Maybe I'll become Noah from ScreenPlay or something. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that would be interesting. So yeah. Well, thank you guys for adding on that. That's all the time that we have. Once again, thank you, Sam and Rachel, for being on the show today. For those of you watching, if you have something you'd like to review, or if you have a topic for us to talk about, mention AU Spartan Media on Twitter and use the hashtag AUScreenPlay. I'm your host, Noah Bailey, and we will be back again next week with more pop culture reviews. See you later.